Hello, I'm Gus Downing, publisher and editor of the D&D Daily, and this is the LP News Network. We're here today with James Welborn, attorney at law, William Ramos, director, organized retail crime, ORC Recovery, and Ben Dugan, director of Field ORC Investigations for the Zellman Group. Today's session is entitled ORC, From Investigation to Recovery. The Zellman Group, based in Greenvale, New York, is a loss prevention services and consulting company serving the retail, food service, and hospitality industries. Their management team comes from loss prevention, operations, and e-commerce executive backgrounds. The Zellman Group's managed solutions are customizable and have the flexibility to apply to companies of any size and segment, from silver recovery, ORC recovery, analytics to operational. Their proven solutions provide measurable results. Their silver recovery department encompasses civil demand, restitution, court-ordered restitution, specialty cases, and ORC investigations, and recovery. Their risk-averse approach to silver recovery is led by their chief counsel. Additionally, their dedication to customer service, client culture, and ethics, together with the state-of-the-art technology, keeps them at the forefront of recovery solutions. Their ORC recovery solution is a complete package. As a user of Thomson Reuter's Clear, Zellman can assist with background and asset searches, compiling documentation for presentation to law enforcement, assisting with law enforcement relationships, and assistance with recovering losses through the courts. The Zellman Group's loss prevention analytics services are led by industry-recognized leaders who have expertise with a wide array of EBR tools for retail, hospitality, and the food and beverage industries. And with that, we'd like to welcome Jim, Bill, and Ben. Thanks for being here, gentlemen.
Thank you, Gus.
You know, Bill, the Zellman Group has been the acknowledged leader in silver recovery restitution and LP analytics for 20 years. Why expand your offerings to the retail community in ORC recovery?
Well, Gus, over the last 20 years, our company has expanded because we've responded to our clients' needs. They've always asked us, can you do this for us? And what's it going to take? So it was no surprise to us when we were approached to handle ORC and start that service. They told us what their problems were. We knew what our infrastructure had in place and what it lacked, and we put that into effect. This way, we address the issues that they can't effectively. Their LP teams are great in putting the cases together, going out in the field, bringing it to law enforcement,
right.
But then they're ill-equipped to monitor the court process as well as the restitution payments coming in.
Mm-hmm. You know, has anything recently occurred that will enable Zellman to be more responsive to the retailer's needs in regards to ORC recovery?
It has. We've recently added to our network of offices in Florida, and we brought on Ben Dugan, an experienced ORC investigator, and John Welborn, who's joined the law offices of Michael Ira Azen. Mm-hmm. James has 17 years experience in the civil recovery and restitution issues, and will be dedicated to ORC.
You know, what do you expect the impact to be by adding a dedicated ORC investigator to your team and a new attorney to Michael's firm, whose work will focus on ORC recovery? What's the impact, you think?
Well, Ben has over 20 years experience in ORC investigations, and during that time he's developed many contacts in law enforcement as well as prosecutors throughout the United States. Sure. As you know, companies hire many attorneys, but they usually handle only HR, contracts, compliance, and they feel uncomfortable in the ring of criminal prosecution and civil restitution. With James on board, now we can focus on maintaining a communication with the courts, following the process of that court case, and also afford us opportunities to probably address the restitution part earlier on in the court proceedings. This way, our clients can receive a maximum return and probably cut short that restitution period.
You know, can you describe the open source ORC investigative program at Zellman? Specifically, what kinds of information are you able to extract to support or drive ORC investigations for your clients?
I think that's a Ben question.
I'll answer that. Okay. Right now, the type of investigations that we're doing at Zellman goes way beyond just gathering open source intelligence. What we're doing at Zellman is we're proactively conducting criminal investigations with ORC. And we're using some cutting edge investigative techniques. We have some proprietary tools as well. And we're using that to further ORC investigations for our clients. It's really set up initially to monitor our clients' products on the online classifieds, auction sites, social media, and then our system is dedicated to recognizing suspicious behavior or suspicious actors. And once we recognize those people, do a deep dive and actually track them and follow them online to any site that they go to. Who are they communicating with? Who else are they selling to? What other sites are they selling on? So we're actually gathering criminal data to be used to further a case rather than just gathering information on the internet. So we're combining that technology, the investigative techniques, with our experience in ORC to further cases.
What kind of resources does Zellman have that you're deploying during this open source ORC investigations?
Well, Gus, as you can see, we've taken the time to assemble the team with a lot of experience, and that's our greatest asset. We also have been going through a very extensive open source certification. In addition to that, we stay current with changes being made, and we use proprietary software, some of which you've already mentioned, Clear, which help us keeps us legal and compliant at the same time.
You know, in your experience, what are the keys to a successful ORC program, and how specifically can Zellman help?
Well, that's a great question, Gus, especially nowadays in today's retail climate when a lot of retail companies are operating on a much leaner model. Their ORC teams are being stretched to capacity, sometimes beyond their capabilities. So Zellman offers an end-to-end ORC solution. We can get involved in any portion of a case. We offer our clients a menu of services that they're free to select from at any time. So it gives them a lot more flexibility, a lot more diversity, which I think is the key to success. You know, that diversity and that change and interaction. For years, ORC teams operated in this silo by themselves. You know, and really the key to success in ORC is collaboration. It really is just a part of a company's overall external theft strategy. It should be worked in with physical security, product protection, security detective deployment, and civil demand, of course. All should be part of the program. And I think at Zellman, we offer that big piece of the puzzle for them.
James, following up on recovery, tell us what's making Zellman's ORC recovery program so successful.
Well, it's relationships. You've got to look, I've had 17 years experience helping retailers in collections matters. Ben's had 20 years at a minimum on the ground investigations, working with the courts, working with prosecutors. I also work with the courts, work with prosecutors, work with defense attorneys. If you don't have those relationships built up over the long term, it's tough to develop them during the short term. And also Zellman has a team to support us who continually monitor the criminal court case. Retailers generally, once they turn it over, they're pretty much done with that. When the investigation's done, now it's turned over, we'll let the criminal process go. But at different stages during the criminal process, you've got to file certain paperwork. And if you're a victim, one of the most important things you've got to get on the record is the victim impact statement. But you can't just say, yes, Billy Bob owes us $200,000 because he did X. You've got to document it and you've got to present it to the court in a certain way. And then after that, you need to still follow it with the court, because generally there will be some type of a process afterwards where a receiver may be appointed. And sometimes it takes years to get the assets, if there are any that have been seized, liquidated and cashed back to the retailer. So, all of this is important to do and make sure it's done, but retailers traditionally have not followed through to that extent, and that's where we really come in. Plus, there's an extra added bonus, is if we're brought in at the beginning, and they get a letter signed by me, which basically states that we represent X. A lot of times the defense attorney will call me directly and try to set up some type of dialogue regarding the criminal matter. Now, of course, I'm going to do what the client directs me to do regarding that. However, many times a client may be open to setting a restitution amount which satisfies them, especially if the retailer will have a very hard time proving up each and every individual loss at trial or at a restitution hearing. Sometimes it's advantageous to go ahead and settle the restitution matter prior, plus for the defense attorney it looks good to the court.
Sure.
For the prosecutor, it takes some of the burden off of him or her, and for the court it just alleviates time. So it's a win-win for everybody, especially if the retailer agrees to some type of some type of adjudication that might be different from the maximum amount.
Excellent. Sounds like you've got a great model. Good luck with it.
Thank you very
And
much.
thanks for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
My pleasure.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Well, that's it for this episode, ladies and gentlemen. We'd like to thank you for watching. And until next time, let's keep them all safe out there.